Welcome into the lounge presented by DraftKings. We are thrilled to sit down with Nnamdi Madubuike. Thank you for joining us. And last time you were on the lounge with us, it was fresh off signing your extension. Had your family here.
Yeah,
very cool moment.
Yeah.
Cool, great day.
Yeah,
great day.
Great day.
And you told us that fresh off the extension that you thought you might go to the jewelry store, pick up something nice for yourself.
Yeah.
Just wondering, did that come to fruition? Did you get something or what?
Something.
Okay.
I got a little, 3 little tennis chains. I've been seeing Zay and Lamar rock them. I didn't give me a little. I didn't get a little thicker because I have a thick neck, but yeah, I got a little thing.
Lamar's got like the grill that he wears on the game.
Yeah,
have you thought about it?
I don't know. It's drawn some inspiration. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, what has it been like since inking that extension? Like, how has life changed for you?
A lot of people have been hitting me up and finding my number somehow, but I think I just try to keep the main thing, keep things simple, just keep working hard and just keep developing as just a player and just like more now a leader and just trying to keep the same focus as I had, the year before the extension. So just trying to keep the main thing and just keeping the circle tight and just keeping things focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it change after you get a big contract like that in terms of people hitting you up? I mean, you've obviously been in the NFL for a while, and so it's not like it's a secret, that you're in the NFL. But has that actually changed in terms of people hitting you up or asking you for things?
Yeah, a little bit. People are like, I guess like nicer or something. Like I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't really put too much attention to it. I just kind of peep it, kind of notice it, and just kind of move along. But, I don't like to get it in my head. I just like to just keep the main thing and just focus on just being a great player, great person, just all those little
That is one thing about you that does really stand out to me is it. From my perspective, like nothing has changed about you, like nothing, like you're one of those guys that, you don't worry like, all right, he gets the contract. Is he going to work as hard? Is he going to put everything in? Like you absolutely have, right. How intentional was that for you that you're like, all right, this is going to make me work even harder? Because I know we talked about that, the day that you came on and like, how did you go about doing that?
How I went about it was like, I felt like when you sign a contract like that, a lot of people are in your ear about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And I think it's upon yourself to like, just focus really on just doing what you did to get that contract that you earned. You know what I'm saying? Just earn it again. And like, that's the mentality. Just earn your respect in the league. Like I always have visions of like, seeing guys that I looked up to, like, talk after the game, like, I respect your game, like stuff like that, like keeps me motivated, like mentally. Just, sometimes football, it's like such a long season. You have to be able to find things to keep you focused, keep you driven. So things like that just kind of like keep me like above the water, I guess you could say.
It's kind of interesting because I remember sitting down with you on that day, and of course you're happy and your family's here and it's an exciting day and all that. But like there was a part of you that seemed, as we were talking to this point, like it almost seemed like it added like another chip on your shoulder. You're like, I got this contract, but I know people are going to doubt me that I shouldn't have got this contract, and I'm even more motivated because of that. Which I was like, wow, that is like
that's next level.
That's like next level. Like that's 3D chess right there in terms of how you're feeling about that contract. How did you use that like as motivation in a strange way?
Yeah, I think, just my story, I guess, like my first 3 years here, like Quays was in front of me and like I was learning from him, but still trying to like show that I'm a great player too. So then when he left, I was like, I feel like people were like, oh, he's just another third round pick, whatever like that. And I'm just like, you guys don't know, I'm really, I believe in myself. I'm really great. So I just got to show it. And then when I showed it, everybody was like, oh, wow, congrats. But, maybe it's like a one-hit wonder. I heard something like that, people like that I know be hitting me up, like I said, like new numbers, stuff like that about articles. I don't really give that too much attention, but one of them was like one-hit wonder. So I was like, man, these people don't know I be training in Atlanta all season, like in the hot summer. So I'm just like, I need to just stay locked in and just do it again. Just one day at a time. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
The things kind of I went about it, just about how, even though I signed, people are still like, yeah, but, you just had a great year. And I'm just like, nah, I really do this. But actions speak louder than words. So I just have to keep showing it through action.
Well, fresh off a big time game, 3 sacks against the Bengals. Joe Burrow went home very sore in part because of you. He still might be having nightmares a few days later.
Yeah.
So what was going so right in that game for you?
I think like on the sideline, like, a lot of guys may have been, Thursday night game, you were waiting all day to play. I took my time that day, keeping my feet up and just like eating good food to keep my energy flowing, keep my energy going. So I think that night I was just like telling everybody on the sideline, just trust your moves. Like at some point they were up on us by like a touchdown and a field goal. I was just like, yo, trust your moves. It's getting quiet on the sideline. I think just saying that and just everybody just, you know, having that juice going just had me going and Joe just playing very confidently and very aggressively and just trying to get back there. I feel like if it's gonna be a spark, it has to start with me through action. So, you know, I did my best, and you know, Marlon had a great play that's kind of spiked up the whole momentum of the game. And you know, we just found a way to win. The league is not easy, so I think just talking to myself, believing in what I'm doing, just playing fast.
Yeah.
From a football standpoint, like you made the point to me after the game that you felt like, and I'm curious about this, that like if you basically just pushed the pocket and stayed on your track there, that you would have success getting to the quarterback. And so like there's I guess the mental side of things, the emotional side of things, but like from a football standpoint, was it any different in terms of your approach and how you were rushing the passer in this game?
This specific game, I would say so. You know, Burrow, he likes to you know, look back and then step up.
Okay.
So if you collapse that pocket, where is he going to step up? He's going to step up like
right into your arms,
and you just collect. If you don't collect, you know, Dolph's going to be Travis going to be there, like KV's going to be there to collect too. And then we're in second down, we're in third down. You know, just trying to get off the field, third and out. So, you know, that was the emphasis throughout the whole week. You know, he likes to step up and just try to find Chase down there or one of his targets down there. So it was like a big emphasis to like push that pocket.
Interesting.
Comfortable.
Right. With you, I feel like, you know, because you're so talented, like once you get on a roll, like it can go, right? Do you feel like there's a point in the game, like when you start winning matchups like you were in that Bengals game, that like, all right, I'm in unstoppable mode right now?
Yeah, I do feel like, you know, like I'm in my mode, like I'm going, you know what I mean? Like I'm in my zone, you know, I'm in my zone, and, you know, I just have to keep, you know, just keep going the whole game, whole 60 minutes, you know. I tell the whole O-line and D-line, you know, when we're in a little practice warm-ups before the game, like, man, do y'all got 60, man? They're like, yeah. I'm like, nah, man, for real. Do y'all got 60 for me? Like 60 minutes of just hard smash nose like football, like tonight. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all got, after we're done, we get the dub, we can go home, see your little auntie, nephew, wife, kids, whatever you gotta do. But like right now, y'all got 60. And I think that's just my mentality. Like I'm gonna bring my 60. You know what I'm saying? And I'm depending on you guys too. I know you guys will, and we're gonna win this game.
Yeah, and I know we talked earlier this season, you know, before you had 3 sacks, you had 2 before then, and it was a challenge, right? Like defenses or offenses, I mean, have adjusted to you. They know who Nnamdi Madubuike is loud and clear, and you were seeing a lot of double teams. How hard was that for you to adjust to?
Yeah, it was pretty frustrating. You know, I had talks with like KV and all these guys that I play along with. I'm like, damn, man, am I playing bad? Like, nah, bro, you're getting slided a lot. I'm just like, sure. Like, I don't know, man. I ain't getting sacks like I was last year, but
you literally asked me that. You're like, am I not playing well?
Yeah, I was like, bro, like, is there something wrong? Like, am I tripping? He's like, no, bro, you're getting slided. Just don't overthink it, because in football, you can really get yourself in a hole where you're overanalyzing, overthinking things, and then you start playing slow, you start playing sluggish, and then it gets worse. You just have to take the simple game like down a notch, like keep it smooth, be calm, collected, trust yourself, trust your moves.
Right.
That's what I was preaching to the O-line. I'm in the D-line on the sideline in the Bengals game, because I had to tell myself that. I had to tell it to all y'all too.
Yeah.
So I think that really helped.
So I guess when you get 3 sacks, then does that just, those thoughts are gone then, right?
Yeah. It shows me that like, hey, like what you were telling yourself or what you believe was working. So now let's get on a roll. Let's get on a roll, because we're in the middle of the season, and you know I believe we can really get hot. We have some things to fix, but we can really get hot. So.
I'm curious, as a pass rusher, like all year long, you've been in the backfield and you've been making an impact, and you like, even though up until Bengals game you only had 2 sacks, but your impact was felt. And how do you balance basically like, I'm getting to the quarterback, I'm getting pressures, I'm getting some hits, but like the sacks aren't there yet, but it's a whole, you're looking at the entire package of how you're playing. So how do you balance all of those things as a player?
You know, I think just trusting the process. Like, for example, if you have like 4 tackles and like 0 sacks, you know, for 4 games straight, you're getting 4 tackles every game. That's good, but the sacks is what everybody's like, ooh and ah, you know. So you may feel like you're playing bad when you're not.
Right.
That's kind of how I felt, in a sense, you know. I was getting a lot of tackles, wasn't getting back there. When I was getting back there, I wasn't collecting. And I was just like, dang, like I just need to just keep trusting the process, keep living right, keep eating right, keep sleeping right. Just trying to do everything that I can control to get a better outcome in the game. So I feel like when I got 3, and I really could have got more when I look back on the film. I really could have had like more, but it just keeps me motivated to just keep trusting yourself and just keep trusting the process.
Yeah. Do you look at some of the other guys around the league, some of the other premier defensive tackles, and you're like, man, those guys, like they've been doing it for a while now, right? Like the Chris Jones has been eating for a while. Aaron Donald, right? Like those guys went to Pro Bowls like you, and then they kept producing. Like, do you look at them and kind of take inspiration from them in any way?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, like Aaron Donald, like that's a guy that I watch a lot on film. And especially now this year was the first time I started asking Matt, like, hey, Matt, can you find like old AD films of like beating double teams? Because I'm getting double teamed a bunch. Can you find, film of like Chris Jones, like, getting double teamed, see how he slips and slithers through there? Because this is the year where I think if I were to go back in the offseason, I would watch more film on taking double teams. I didn't know how much I was going to get this year.
Right.
Yeah, so I think stuff like that is just trying to find ways to get better.
So you're going to Matt, who's for listeners' review, is one of the defensive assistant coaches here.
Yeah, Matt Robbins.
Matt Robbins is one of our defensive coaches, and you're saying to him, "Give me footage of double teams here, so I can figure out how to beat these."
Yeah.
Of other guys, even of Aaron Donald, of Chris Jones.
Yeah, just to see like how they made it work in terms of like getting pressure through the double team or slithering through there and still getting the sack. You can still get sacked in double team, but it's just not what you do, is how you do it. So I think watching those guys and then me envisioning myself in their shoes, like when the game is on, I can know how to lift that arm up and rip through there and just keep your feet moving, keep your feet driving, stuff like that.
Right.
Because I know they're gonna slide to me, so I still want to eat.
Yeah.
I got to find a way to get in there.
That's awesome. And I think you can certainly take some comfort also knowing, if you're getting a double team, somebody else isn't, right?
Yes.
That's opening things up for Travis Jones and for Brody and MP before he was on injured reserve and all that. Like, how have you kind of viewed what those guys have done as you've gotten a lot of attention?
When I get a lot of attention, those guys get the one-on-ones, which is great. And, sometimes they jet Y and they have YY slides and all types of stuff. So they know we're going to bring pressure.
Yeah.
They know we're going to bring pressure. So we just got to keep applying it. Just keep applying it.
Right.
The more they bring it, the more we apply. And just keeping that mindset.
How do you view a game against the Steelers? Everybody knows what they're known for. Everybody knows what the Ravens defense is known for. How much do you kind of get up for these games against Pittsburgh?
It's one of the longest rivalries in NFL history. And, it is another game, but this game, what it comes with: smash mouth, talking trash, physical, like showing no weakness, like all those things. Just have to mentally, you have to really factor in before you go out there and play your heart out. So I think the week of preparation, everybody just having that mind frame going into practice, have that mind frame going into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, getting locked out for like Sunday. We can just, play our best ball.
It's interesting that you say showing no weakness. Like, both of these teams take pride in, on game day, we're going to be the more physical team. Both of them do. And so is that a tangible thing? Like, when you're out there, you don't even want to give them the glimmer of hope that they're the more physical team. Like, if you get banged up, you're like, in other games, you might be like, but in the Steelers game, like, you don't do that?
I think in every game I don't do that. For me, I can only speak for me. But in the Steelers game, for sure, like they really showing no mercy because of just the rivalry and the history, and just we don't really like them, they don't really like us. So it's just like it's manhood day for sure. So,
right?
Everybody just have to locked in, same page, O line, D line, special teams, quarterback, running back, everybody. I think if we all do that, have that frame, we'll come up with a great outcome.
Since you like watching old tapes, old highlights, are you pulling up any old school Ravens, Steelers, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Haloti Ngata type highlights this week to get you ready for this one?
Zo, he already put the highlights up already in the defensive meeting. Yeah, like film like that, those are cool film, but if you play like that now, you're gonna get a letter. You're gonna get all types of stuff.
True.
You're gonna get a letter. You can't be too more like the mentality is there, but just the way they play is like you have to maybe back up. They're gonna get flagged, you're gonna get a letter. It's just like man, just a different game now, which is fine. We can.
If you break Ben Roethlisberger's nose like Haloti Ngata did.
That's getting
100% that's getting flagged.
What did he even get flagged on that play?
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't think he did either.
Yeah.
Different game now.
Different game.
It is. And you just have to just know that, be aware of that. But still like you still gotta win your rushes and try to get back there.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. I'm curious. I want to go back to you when you talk about eating right, sleeping right, training right. Like you to me seem like an incredibly disciplined guy, just in everything that you do, your training, your diet. Are you one of these guys like Derrick Henry's diet got a lot of buzz earlier this year? You strike me as a guy that is very strict in like everything that you're putting into your body. Like what is your regimen from a diet standpoint and from a workout standpoint?
Yeah. Even when Derek got here, you know, we were talking a lot, and I always would ask him like, "Hey man, what you eat this morning?" It would be like 1 o'clock in the morning, at afternoon.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Hey, what'd you eat this morning?" Because you know he would tell me like he wouldn't eat much until like before practice, and it'd be like I don't know, celery or spinach,
Kale. He was having like kale for breakfast.
Yeah, kale for breakfast. I'm just like, dang, like that's just I can't be me. I'm in the trenches. Like you know, he has to be a little bit lighter as a running back. I'm more of like I have to be hefty, husky, like be able to take double teams, stay in there, stay put. So. You know, I'll kind of like, you know, asking questions and feel like if it added to me and what I could be better, I would do that. So to answer your question, like I stopped eating breakfast and I started eating like basically like a brunch-ish, lunch-ish around like, what time's right now? Like 12? Yeah. So I'll eat around like 12, 15. That'll be like my first meal.
Okay.
And then I'll stop eating at like 8:39 the latest. So I have that whole like 12-hour, 14-hour rule fast, I guess you could say.
Right.
Just to make sure I don't get too big, you know what I mean? So I'll just try to find ways just to see what best fits me, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's really like a journey to find out what works for your body.
Right.
What works for me may not work for you.
Right.
And are you like regimented about during those times that you are eating, what you're eating?
Yeah, like I eat like pancakes and like eggs and like egg whites and stuff like that. But I don't eat like crazy stuff like super fried food and stuff like that. Unless it's like, you know, food trucks day.
Cheat day.
Cheat day, exactly. So outside of that, you know, I try to keep a smooth regimen. Like try to keep the main thing. Like eat the same meal before a game usually. I kind of have like 2 options I give myself every game: morning games, late games. So yeah.
Because you lost what, like 10 pounds this year?
Yeah, like last year I played maybe at 305, 300. Now I'm playing like a 290, 288.
Okay, so more like 15, 20.
Yeah, like 10 to 15.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think just not eating like in the morning like immediately like kept my weight like down and kept my twitchiness there still. My strength is still there.
Right.
So as long as I'm, you know, still strong and still able to take those routines and stay stout, you know, I feel like I can keep shedding, but when it gets too sheddy where you're getting ran over, it's like, okay, you got to put some more weight.
Now we got a problem.
So I'm trying to find
you're in the trenches.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how do you schedule in it? It's jollof, right? Am I pronouncing?
Jollof rice.
Jollof rice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you schedule that into the regimen there?
Yeah, as long as I got some chicken or something like that, I'll be good. And some spinach, but yeah, that can be like the carb and like, you know, like sweet potato fries. I like sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Trying to find those like smooth, like healthy, like energetic, like carbs and stuff like that. Chicken's always good.
Yeah.
Beef maybe once a week. You know, beef kind of like feels weird in my system, but chicken for sure. And staying hydrated is huge.
Yeah. So I do want to talk for listeners who might not know. Jollof rice is a Nigerian dish, and Nnamdi, obviously, with the name change this year, you know, really kind of embracing more of your Nigerian heritage, and it's really cool that you're also doing that alongside of Odafe and David Ajabo. And so, how has that process been? Like, do you feel, not just with your name change, but that brotherhood that you have, that you're more true to your natural self? Do you feel that way now?
I do for sure. You know, Dafe and Jabo always been my brothers, but you know, I think like just being real with yourself. I feel like as I started elevating my career every year, I got better and better and better. And as I got better, I started like shed away things or just strip things from me that didn't mean much. Like, you know, like friends that ain't doing much, like video games, like girlfriend and stuff. Like just trying to just really just dial in and see how great I can be in this thing. And like, I just realized that just being real with myself just really got me there. And I was just like, hey, like, you know, in the building, people call me Beaks, you know what I'm saying? Nobody really calls me Justin. Like Justin Tucker gets called Justin. Like if somebody says Justin, like I don't even turn around. I know they're talking to Justin Tucker. Because people call me Beaks. I'm just like, if that's gonna be the case, then I'm gonna go by like my real name. You know, if my dad calls me like, hey Nnamdi, how did the day go? I'm like, I'm good, you know, chilling, like trying to get that quarterback, you know what I'm saying? And my mom, but hey Nnamdi, how you feeling? I'm doing good, mom. I'm doing good, chilling, you know. So those are my people, and they've always called me that since I've been a kid. So I was like, you know what, this is my real name. I'm just gonna embrace who I really am, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care what anybody thinks about it, because it's on my birth.
Yeah.
It's my birth certificate. So
Yeah.
is what it is.
How good does it feel? Like, does it feel better to you?
It does.
Yeah.
It feels true. It feels like that thing that we're all missing mentally. Like, it's like something's it's like that, or fill that void.
That's cool.
You know, I'm still trying to be hungry and fight for my respect and my career and all that stuff, and just little things like that. But I think changing my name to like my real name, that I believe in my heart is my real name since I've been a kid, just really just kind of like a liberating feeling.
Yeah.
That's
really
cool.
Yeah.
Was it, did you recognize it when you ran out of the tunnel with Nnamdi being called out over the PA for the first time? Like when you run out of the tunnel, you hear Nnamdi Madubuike for the first time. Did that strike you?
You know, it's so crazy. In that tunnel, like the crowd is so loud. I don't even hear my
it's hard to hear. You just run.
I just go out there and just fight, and I'm just ready just to go and just to fight and just to go to war. So I think, you know, I think for like the fans, like my family, they enjoy it. But for me, I don't hear. I'm just locked in, ready to go.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Last thing for me is obviously this, you know, this defense. You guys are getting ready to play this divisional game. I know this defense does not play to the level overall that you guys just as a whole.
Sure.
You got high expectations. So talk to me about the confidence that you guys have as a unit that you can right the ship. You know, there's a lot of good players on this team, a lot of good coaches, that you guys can right the ship and get this thing back on track.
High confidence, you know, in my eyes, I see it as like we have like the same guys as we had last year for the most part, you know, so it's us, you know what I mean? We are in our own way. So I have high confidence that, you know, if you're great and you have greatness in you, you can find a way to turn around despite, you know, going through shortcomings and just not playing at the level that you believe you can. So it just starts in practice. It starts with us to be on the same page. And I believe in the guys because I believe in the last year, the same guys I'm believing in this year, you know, I believe in them as long as we're playing with each other. So, you know, that's just what it is. We just need to put in the work in practice.
All right, last one for me is take me inside of that brotherhood that you have with Daf and Jabo, and what that looks like when the three, you know, Nigerian guys are hanging out off the field. What's that look like?
It's cool. It's just so much relatability, you know, just in terms of us growing up. We go through, like, our parents say, like, the same things to us. I'm like, bro, your mom said that too? She said that to me, too. After like, she told me to leave, like, and go back home after the lights was off. And if you don't, you know, you're going to get spanked. All that type of stuff. I was just like, man, it's just so funny how we're just so similar, but so different at the same time. Yeah. So those are my dads. Those are my dogs. Those are my guys. And being on the same team in the NFL, like, definitely is going to bring our relationship like to a whole different level, even after football, and just a beautiful thing. So you know, I'm happy that I get to play with them.
And it's food, music. What else is it that kind of gets rolled up into?
Yeah. Food for sure. Like, you know, they're you know what's funny? They're more heavy on like eating Nigerian food and finding like Nigerian cuisine out here.
Okay.
I'm more like, man, give me like a nice burger, bro. Like, give me like some popcorn. Like, give me like some ice cream cookie. You know, I'm straight. But I still eat like my Nigerian food, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like my automatic go-to, but I do have times where I'm like, man, I'm craving like some old mom's cooking, bro.
Okay,
home, so I'll find like a nice cuisine out here because there's a bunch out here in Maryland. So
nice. Yeah,
I think that's our relationship, like music and stuff like that. We listen to usually the same music. There's a lot of guys like Burna Boy and like you know, Wizkid, all these Nigerian you know, artists that we share songs with and stuff like that, and like the beat, but. Outside that, man, just a smooth brotherhood. That's really all I see. So.
Awesome. Great, cool. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, and go get that quarterback some more, man.
Got you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all,
man. You're listening to the Lounge Podcast. We're coming to you from the SeatGeek studio. We also want to mention our partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. They are an official sports betting partner of the Baltimore Ravens. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. So enjoyed sitting down with Beeks. I think this is a guy who's been productive, had a huge game, obviously, against the Bengals, and I think you asked him about, I think this thing could snowball a little bit for him. I think that he's got 5 sacks right now in the season. I'm still not ruling out double digits for him at all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's a supremely talented player. And once he heats up, I think he's going to be really hard to stop. And he already has heated up. So, I mean, sometimes sacks can come in bunches. And maybe, you know, we saw it with KVN earlier this year, right? He went on a torrid stretch. Is this the beginning for Nnamdi? I'm certainly not going to rule it out.
Yeah, I think he could be really good, and also getting Travis Jones healthy on that defensive
Yep.
line, and
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I think it's going to help, and I just think he's going to be he's already a huge player for this defense, but I think his production is only going to continue to go up from here. So Ravens are going to need him against the Steelers this week. They need this defense to play at a top level. They need to get after Russell Wilson, and a lot of that starts with Madubuike. So as always, you can email us at the lounge at ravens.nfl.net. Thank you so much to Beaks for joining us here today, and we will be back with you again later this week.